The first time I remember truly wanting my very own money, I was a little girl, probably 5 or 6. And I went to my mom and told her about my great get rich quick scheme. Now, this was the first time, but certainly not the last she had to listen to how I was going to be making money. I told her I was going to put some of my favorite toys on a wagon and I was going to go door to door and sell them along with some of my precious art to make money. Surprisingly, and to her credit, she did not stop me. She said, "Good luck," and sent me off. I think I made maybe a quarter in total, and most of it was pennies, nickels, and dimes of people who said, "Here, you can just have this," and then they didn't take any of my treasures. I think about the way we discuss if money can buy happiness. Over the years, especially as we become those who have our own resources, we're able to buy the things that we want and need, even watching my teens turn their hard-earned cash into experiences or buying things that they outgrow in a few years. We think about what it takes and how it influences our lives. And we have said for decades that money can't buy happiness. And so when I got my results back from the happiness study, I was surprised to find some statistics that made me think. Interestingly enough, those who make between $150,000 and $199,000 a year are significantly more likely to say that they have a stronger sense of purpose than those who make less than $100,000 a year. Also, those who are making $200,000 a year or more, and not surprisingly, those who are executives or higher, list their rate of happiness as higher than those who make less money or who are in different job titles. Now, I will say to my dying day that money cannot buy happiness. What I will also tell you is that in the day and age that we live in, financial factors are affecting our emotions regularly. Whether you make the kind of income that you would like, or you would like to make more money, or whether you have the job title that you would like, or you would like to advance in some way, what we're finding is that in a day and age where inflation and the cost of regular life, gas, groceries, entertainment, fun, regular everyday living becomes more and more expensive, money becomes an additional stressor. Whether it's a micro stressor or a macro stressor in your life, we are thinking more about our financial means than we ever have before. Add on top of that how there are a number of companies that are laying off employees and having additional cutbacks or not filling positions. It's harder and harder to find the work that you would like. And so money is playing a different role in our emotions now than it does in different economic circumstances. Now, while the study does show that those who are in higher brackets of income tend to be happier than those who are not, that doesn't necessarily mean that money is the factor for that. One of the other statistics that we found is that those with higher degrees of education are happier than those who don't. And again, it's not that education itself makes someone happier. It's that we have found that those who have gone on to receive master's degrees or PhDs have found a sense of purpose in their life because they're focused on a specific industry, a specific job, or something else that matters and is meaningful to them. So you don't have to wait until you have a higher education. You don't have to wait until you have a higher income. What matters is that you feel that you have a sense of purpose in your everyday life and that you're able to focus those efforts on things that matter most to you. So whether you are making less than $100,000 a year or more than $100,000, or whether you are just getting started as a student or you're trying to get into the career that you want and you're in an entry-level position, focus less on the money and focus more on your daily sense of purpose and what that means to you. Whether that's that your purpose is in your work, or if it's in what you do for service, or how you connect with others, or ways that you contribute in the world, that sense of purpose will help you feel a greater sense of happiness in your life. So as you think about what you want to be doing tomorrow, a year from now, or 10 years from now, maybe you are interested in pursuing higher levels of education or getting more skilled in your specific line of work or understanding a little bit more about your passions and interests. Know that there is a direct correlation in feeling that sense of purpose and what you do every day that will bring you the kind of happiness and fulfillment that you want in your life. Now, I also know that money does sometimes make things easier, but don't get caught in the lie that just because you're not making the money that you want, that you can't be happy. What the research doesn't show us is that there are thousands of happy people making a variety of different incomes because they know that their worth is not related to their income. They also know that their worth is not related to their job or their position. And even if they're in a position right now that isn't their long-term goal, they know that they are fulfilling what they need to right now so that they can thrive and even survive in interesting economic climates. So don't believe the lie that money buys happiness, but look at the details to understand what that means for you. What can you be focused on so that you're not worried about what it costs to go to the grocery store? How can you find joy, peace, and fulfillment in the ways that you contribute or how you treat others or in your hobbies and interests and goals? Sometimes when we don't have the circumstances that we want in one area, it can be tempting to control or over control the other areas in our life. However, what we have found in our work is that even if something in one area of your life, like finances for that matter, isn't exactly the way that you want it, finding fulfillment in another area will actually bring you peace in this one. Maybe you need to pick up doing stained glass or some kind of art, or maybe you have some sort of physical hobby you'd like to do, running a marathon or becoming a pickleball champion. It doesn't really matter what it is as long as you have an outlet and a sense of purpose in that area of your life. Also, the study does show that when we are giving back or when we're looking outside of ourselves, greater happiness can happen at all income levels. So find ways to serve others. Find something in your community that matters, a passion project or some way that you'd like to improve either your neighborhood, your state, or even the nation around you. Finding some ways to contribute and give back will often bring you that sense of happiness that no money ever can. Know that you are 100% in control of your happiness at all times. And one of the things that I found in this research that I loved and that I will continue to talk about is that happiness actually is a unifier. As working Americans, we all want to be happier. More than 87% of those respondents said that they want to be happier than they currently are. And so don't look at your individual circumstances. Figure out what you can control and do that will help you bring the kind of happiness and joy that you want in your life. Thank you for being part of this video. I'd love to know what is making you happy right now. Share it in the comments below, reach out and connect to us, and join us on our next video where we will be talking about happiness in generations. Are millennials happier than those in Gen X or Gen Z? Stay tuned to find out.